Welcome to our real-time transcription costing webinar. This is going to be a live workshop. I'm really excited to go through this with Vamshi. He's got all the insights on real-time transcription and what we're doing here. I'm Jessica Nocera. I've been working here for almost 3 years. I work with the marketing team, and I work closely with Vamshi and his enterprise solutions team. And Vamshi, could you introduce yourself?
Sure, Jess. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's webinar. My name is Vamshi Suddapalli, and I'm a solution engineer at AMC Technology here. I work with organizations primarily in modernizing their contact centers, particularly in blending voice platforms with CRMs like Salesforce, ServiceNow, SAP, CBEL, and orchestrating those conversations through our DaVinci toolkit. And in today's session, I will help you make a sense of a real cost behind implementing real-time transcription. And it's not just the tech setup, but what to expect from infrastructure services, whether you're planning a pilot or scaling an enterprise-wide. This will help you to make a confident, budget-aligned decisions.
Thank you, Vamshi. I think this webinar is going to be really insightful. And if you just joined us, you can go ahead and vote in our poll. Vamshi, it looks like most of us are saying that the biggest myth is only big enterprise can afford it. But I'm wondering, what's your biggest myth with real-time transcription? Sorry.
That's a great question, Jess. I mean, there's a lot of unknowns, and the biggest myth I have heard in real-time transcription is saying that the voice channel is outdated, it is legacy, customers need to move to digital and use digital more for serving the customers. But it's quite the opposite. Real-time transcription has evolved beyond what a simple checkbox is within voice channel. It is the engine that is actually behind real-time agent assist, AI decision making, and automation. So if you're hearing that real-time transcription is an old school, I encourage you to stay around till the end of the session. I think you'll walk away from here with a different view.
Well, I'm excited, Vamshi. Why don't we start with real-time transcription? And why is it on everybody's radar right now?
Yeah, let's answer the biggest question, why real-time transcription? Because that is where we wanted to start and provide you some insights on understanding why real-time transcription is, what are the value adds there. The first and foremost, let's start with the compliance. Compliance is where in one of our enterprise customers in finance, they heavily used to rely on manually taking the notes. So with manually agent taking notes, this has introduced a lot of errors. And as you understand, that finance is very strict on audits. This has exposed them to a greater audit risks. So with using voice channel and enabling real-time transcription, all of this call is automatically documented. The conversation between customer and the agent is summarized as and when the call is completed, and it is stored within the CRM. So this significantly reduced those risks for them. And that's a great success for us in addressing a compliance scenario. And the second one is live agent coaching, is a big from real-time transcription. So in today's world, how would a supervisor know that they need to join a call or support an agent based on a conversation that is happening between customer and agent? So manually, either today supervisor has to barge into the call, listen to the conversation, or the agent manually has to talk to the supervisor, conference them with the customer to help them with the situation on a call. But with enabling real-time transcription and with live agent coaching, using real-time transcription for live agent coaching, you can build workflows in the backend to trigger your supervisor with red flags. Like if they hear something like cancel or a lawsuit or I need to talk to a supervisor, you can build workflows on any of the trigger words in the CRM that will automatically, instantly start triggering alerts to supervisor, and supervisor knows what's happening in that call. And in that way, the supervisor can contact the agent and see how they can help with catering that customer's requirement, what is the challenge, and if need be, get on the call directly. So that is greatly helpful for coaching the agent in real time. The third one that I would look at is AI enablement. So the tools that we are talking in the industry, be it Salesforce, Agentforce, or Salesforce Instinct One, or Copilot, they all need real-time speech converted into text to detect the intent, sentiment, and next steps. So without real-time transcription, there is no real-time intelligence that these applications can provide. So that is where the real-time transcription plays a key role in AI enablement. And lastly, the fourth one that I would look at is automation. So one of our large insurance clients uses real-time transcriptions today to trigger workflows to kick off post-call tasks, like sending claims for or scheduling follow. So as of today, the agent has to take the call notes, then update the notes and trigger events in the backend so that the customer receives the form they're looking for, the customer requires the access they're looking for to complete a form and all that. But with real-time transcription, understanding the communication between the customer and the agent, the insurance client is able to trigger flows automatically in the back end so that they don't have to manually go and do all these tasks. So these are some of the whys that I would look from real-time transcription perspective, but these are not limited. There are many more whys, and we are happy to explore your problems on why and then build a solution towards that. Jess.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Thank you, Vamshi. It's really interesting how, the real-time transcription could help with so much. If you want to jump to the next slide, um, I'm really curious though, is to, how many of you are actually using some sort of transcription, even if it's just post call. If you want, you can just drop a yes or a no or I don't know in our chat. It'd be really interesting. Um, but we're going to cover so much more into this webinar. And I know you just hit on compliance and coaching and automation, Vamshi, but what's the bigger picture, right? Like real-time transcription, it makes those AI tools like Copilot and Agent Assist useful in real time. But how does it actually connect to AI and automation in practice? Can you go into that, Vamshi?
Sure. So that's a great that's a great question. I'm sorry. Uh, okay.
There you go.
So that's a great segue into we talked about the why real-time transcription, but let's align some of those key things that we talked about, like automation, AI intelligence, live coaching. So, and see how that would align in real time data. So, AI, like I mentioned, AI is only as good as it receives the real time data, the real time data it receives. And that is where real time transcription becomes the lifeline. Like I said, all of the tools like Salesforce, Agentforce, everything relies on the data that is provided from speech to text to enable customers with the AI and automation capabilities. So, for example, a healthcare provider that is using Salesforce Service Cloud Voice, and they wanted to implement real-time uh, summaries, what you into the agent experience. So what the agent would do today is typically while on the call, the agent is taking the notes manually somewhere else, like we talked about, and then towards the end of the call, the agent has to write a short note on what happened in this call, why the customer contacted, why it is, what are the next steps from there on. But with enabling real-time transcription and using the power of SCV, that's a Salesforce Service Cloud Voice, the agent does not have to now toggle between screens to complete that call notes. The other great benefit that you can enable for agents in Service Cloud Voice, like we talked about workflows. So in Salesforce Service Cloud Voice, what agents are looking at is based on real-time transcription, they have agent assist with using Einstein 1 where they're able to get recommendations like what is the next thing that they can do. They can get recommendations on like, hey, you need to open a flow based on the real-time transcription, you're able to trigger workflows to perform other tasks. So there is wide variety of power in the AI applications, but to use that power, the real-time transcription comes in, and once you have the real-time transcription, it helps you to call all the great use cases that we talked about based on the analysis that AI tools are doing. So we talked about bringing in real-time transcription and how an AI automation can be triggered, but it's not Salesforce Service Cloud Voice is just one example, right? Uh, real-time and the flows that we talked about is just recommendations and some of them, but you can do wide variety of things that we covered earlier, like a real-time transcription also enables with the intent recognition, why this customer is calling. You can find the intent. You can also look at the sentiment of the customer, like based on the real-time transcription that is happening. So you can coach your agents with hey, this customer sentiment does not look good. So look at what is happening in the previous history upfront so that the agent is aware and can look at it and see, get an understanding. But with AI, you can also use the tools to summarize that for the agent. So these all are great benefits that you have once you enable your applications with real-time transcription. Um, now with DaVinci, now you can integrate to various platforms and which like Genesis, Cisco WebEx, Avaya, the wide variety of platforms that DaVinci toolkit can orchestrate with for providing real-time transcription. So in short, when it comes to real-time transcription, AI and automation, as the examples from that we have covered so far, you see that real-time transcription is really the bridge between live conversations and real-time automation. Without this, the AI tools are flying blind because they don't have the data that they need. So this is where I would like to summarize to say that it is very important to have the real-time transcription, and this aligns with the myth that we're talking about to see that this is not just voice channel is just not a legacy. There's a lot of power in the channel because we are able to use real-time transcription to power your AI and automation tools in real time to provide agent assist recommendations and other great capabilities to your agents, supervisors, and a better experience to your customer.
Thank you,
Yes.
Vamshi. Um, One thing, John is on the call and he said that you are helping him with some post-call transcription. So that's really exciting. Thank you for joining us, John.
Hey,
But
John.
I'm curious, Vamshi, when teams start using real-time transcription for something like Copilot or the real-time summarization, what kind of improvements should they see first? Like what changes will happen the fastest or the biggest impact early on? Um, what are their like measurable goals for this?
That's a great segue. And key is we talked about the value, we talked about what the real-time transcription is so doing, and now we are going to touch base on the value, on why, what is your investment actually entitling you for once you do all this setup, and what's the value we are driving from this solution. Uh, I'll touch base some of the key metrics that I think is important, but this is not restricting to this metrics only. Let's start with the key thing is agent efficiency, because that is your costliest investment to in the contact center. So one of the with enabling real-time transcription, one of our customers reduced their average handle time by like close to 12%, because of all the value, all the benefit values that we talked about, where agents no longer have to write notes for the calls. The and after call work summarization happens in real time once the call is completed. So this has enabled the customer with a great agent efficiency because of the way we have integrated the real-time transcription to use to feed to real AI tools so that they can provide with the required like summarizations and other great benefits. So this significantly improved, like 12% is not a simple number. That's a great number that we were able to get from agent efficiency. The other key thing that you're looking at is onboarding time. So typically in a contact center, agent might have to log into like 4 applications or 5 applications to cater to customers. But a good example that we had was a customer was taking about 6 weeks to ramp up new hires, because once the new hire is ramped up, they need to be trained on the knowledge base where they need to search for. They have to uh, train the agent in using specific tools, and also getting that agent comfortable, confident on being on this call. But with enabling real-time transcription again, that particular customer was able to reduce the onboarding time to 4 weeks. So we were able to reduce it close to 2 weeks. How did we do that? Because that's a great big question that we have. The biggest thing was with enabling RTT, now the system was able to, based on the real-time conversations that is happening, the system is able to automatically verify the backend systems to look for customer information, customer data. Like for example, if their customer is calling about a shipping request and they would like to get a status of that tracking, and based on the tracking number, the agent can immediately be populated with the details on where the tracking is. Previously, they have to go learn the other tool, then search for it, so and provide the update to customers. So that's a high-level example, right? But that's where the onboarding time has reduced drastically because of using real time with AI and automation. Not only that, with this time, we are also able to, like we talked previously, the supervisors have real-time insights, and if they see some trigger flows or that are happening, then they can immediately switch into reduce or course correct the agent immediately during the conversation with customer. So that's a great metric that you're looking at, is onboarding time has drastically reduced. The third one that I would look at is compliance, right? Like we talked about, how do you, for example, in any industry, specifically finance or insurance, healthcare, they have audits all over the board. So previously, when agents were taking the notes manually, um, there were always errors that audit teams were finding, and it took a lot of them time to correct that messaging in that particular system so that it can align with the audit process, gathering all the required information that is required for an agent to be able to uh, pass that audit process that is required. Like they might have to gather some specific information related to customer on every call. They have to go through a security check on every call. But with using real-time transcription and you're aligning with the AI and automation tools, the compliance of that audit findings has dropped significantly to 35% for real-time call logs and data that the agents were capturing that are required from auditing perspective. So we talked about three metrics so far: agent efficiency, onboarding time, compliance. The other great benefit that we can talk about is the quality scores, right? Because in every contact center, we understand that QA is a key part to enhance the customer satisfaction. So supervisors have reported typically an increase of 10 to 15% just because we were able to give them live transcripts for review and coaching, and they were able to easily align the problem areas and the uh, benefit value in real-time transcription, and used AI tools again here to enable that. So if you took all about the conversations that we have, we are aligning to the myth that using voice channel, enabling it with real-time transcription, and there is a lot of values that you can provide to each of the team and use all this in real time. So if you're tracking the AHT that we talked about, CSAT, QS scores, or compliance events, real-time transcription can directly impact them. And it is very well measurable for each of these teams to see what value add it adds to once you enable the real-time transcription. Yes.
Thank you, Vamshi, for going through all that. But I'm sure many of us are wondering, what is this going to cost me? Because it just sounds all too good to be true, right? But we're going to dive into that now. So Vamshi, could you head over to our calculator?
Sure.
And we're going to tackle a scenario
Mm-hmm.
that a customer sent in, so that way you guys can thoroughly see how we manage this calculator and kind of give you an idea of what one customer scenario would cost them. And then hopefully you guys, if you want, you can submit your own use case, your own scenario. We can go through it step by step with you. So Vamshi, we have a customer, a leading auto dealership that specializes in luxury cars, okay? And they've got about 30 agents, and their handling time, I'll let you do that first. You got to get it right there on the number. Their handling time is about 2 hours a day. And they do like inbound service calls, appointment scheduling, and follow-ups. But I guess you don't really need that, but that's what they submitted. I imagine, yeah, probably the
Yes.
imagine they work some Saturdays, maybe even Sundays, if you wanted to increase the work days per month, since it's a car dealership. I don't think they're closed any day of the week. Maybe Memorial Day. And they are currently exploring Google Cloud. But as you can see right here, Vamshi, if you want to explain what we're looking at.
Sure, Jess. So what you're looking at is a real-time speech to text calculator from cost estimates perspective. And why did Da Vinci, or why are we presenting this to you today? One of the biggest question that, like we mentioned, is the myth around real-time transcription. Similarly, what are the costs associated with that, and how should customers handle, how should customers estimate a cost towards their investment, and what would the final value look like? So with DaVinci tool sets, we enable orchestrations to like all of the, like we can enable orchestration to various real-time transcription providers. And what you're seeing here is an example of a calculator to provide a overview understanding to our customers on what does it mean when they would like to enable real-time transcription to take the benefit of all the AI and automations that they are investing in. So if you look at this real-time speech to text calculator, we have broken this down into four key components that we can use to build the cost that you would be investing for real-time transcription. So what we are looking at is number of agents, what is their average call length, and how many calls they take per day, and how many working days. Now, once we put together this calculator, you have what you would be looking at is a monthly usage estimate, which is totally the number of calls that are handled by that contact center and how many minutes do they spend on that particular call. With that being said, so what you're seeing here is a cost comparison. Let me say that as of today, I mean, the final costs are again provided by the respective players. The key in what we are presenting to you today is to give you an understanding of what would be the differences between different applications or the top three leading transcription service providers in the industry. Uh, Again, the values could be different based on your contractual agreement with the customers and sorry, with that particular provider and your data and other compliance and everything that's aligned in things. But with DaVinci Toolkit, what benefit you have again is you have a provider of your choice that you can go with, and the cost would be aligned to your choice of provider. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to switch between different a specific transcription provider. So let's look at this numbers here. Now, if you're using a Google with the set number of agents here, the total monthly cost for uh, 13,800 calls and 110 minutes, it would be about $58.88 per agent per month. And the total cost that you're looking at for that particular team of 30 agents would be about $1,766 per month. So similarly, what you're looking at is what does this cost breakdown look like for Azure? What does the cost breakdown look like for web services? And this will make you get an idea and make an informed decision on a direction that you want to take, or what are the different transcription service providers that you would like to explore while you're researching on which is the right platform for you. Now we have wide variety of expertise on this space, and during our engagement, we can guide you with all through this process. So this is again for you to play with it to get an idea and present it to your internal teams on what does that cost look like. But as we move forward with understanding your specific use cases and other areas, we can drill this down further to see if only these three are the right tools for you, or if you have some AI tools or applications that we can use to provide real-time transcription. So there's a wide variety of space here. But in summary, this real-time transcription should give you that idea of a high-level overview of what does the cost looks like. And this calculator is using the rates published by each of this provider on April 2025. Like I mentioned, the actual cost may vary based on your agreements with specific transcription providers. Just
Yeah, so Vamshi, when teams are like comparing these different providers, right? What is the best way to choose between like speed and accuracy? How should they decide between going through which one and figuring out what matters more, like speed or accuracy for their setup?
that's a great question. So I would say both are important because what we are carrying here is a time sensitive data. So speed is really important to be able to take the voice, convert into uh, to the transcript, and then provide your AI automation tools with the transcription so that they can trigger the recommendations, they can enable the agent with agent assist, other great benefits that you have. Accuracy also is critical because the transcription tools today not only support English as a medium of language, they support, like if you take about Azure or any of these platforms, they support close to 100 plus languages. So accuracy comes into picture where in that specific region that you're using, uh, like again, we will go through the discovery in our discovery process, but what you're looking for from accuracy is what is the success rate for each of these platforms in that specific language. Like for example, if you take Hebrew in Israel, then each of these platforms have their published success criteria, success rate for transcription service for that specific language. So it is good to go back and do a research on what was the success rate for transcription for each of this platform for your specific language to come to that accuracy. From speed perspective, I think what you're looking at primarily is how is your connection with that platform that you're using? Like, do you have a tunnel VPN? Do you have any proxies? Do you have any network layers that could break down the speed of this? So those are some of the things that needs to be reviewed. And like I mentioned, we have been doing this for many years, and during our process of design, we will go through all this work with you to understand and identify and help you move forward. Yes.
And this calculator is just one piece of the puzzle. Like you said, these costs are variable. But when somebody reaches out to you for like a one-on-one session to go into further detail about the real-time costing, what would they get? What would the experience be?
So the experience would be primarily the the experience that we are primarily looking at is once having that call with the customer or the prospect that is interested, we would like to understand why they're looking for this and what are the problems that they have today, or what are the use cases that they would be looking at. And then, based on that, we can look for a solution and why and how we think we can solve this problem for this customer in specific use cases and drive them to a conclusion towards what are the value adds with this integration and what does a high level ROM looks like when they engage with us to uh, get an understanding of how they can implement the solution within their ecosystem. So that's the value, or that's the thing that we can review with the customer in those sessions.
Cool, thank you. Um, so now you get to take advantage of Vamshi while we have him right here. And if you want, you can go ahead and drop your specific setup or your use case that you're even thinking about in our chat. And we would love to go through it with you. And we can even drop the link in the chat here, and you guys can follow along with us. And Vamshi, while we're waiting to see if anyone does so, when you're helping teams with real-time transcription costs, what's the one thing that usually surprises them? Is it pricing, how the usage adds up, or maybe it's something that they overlook? What's been like the biggest thing that surprises them?
The biggest thing that would surprise is the speed and efficiency at which these tools can be put together to both support agent assist as well as enhance the customer experience. Pricing to an extent, but the way these tools are being designed to provide automation experiences, AI capabilities, using which they can enhance the agent experience all through the process is what would be a great new experience to customers.
Well, we got a use case. So Vamshi, here we go. You ready for another one?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So this customer has about 50 agents,
Good one.
exactly 50. You can't get it. I think we can. It's
I'm
okay.
sorry, I don't have my mouse next to me, but let's go
It's
with
all right.
it. Yeah.
I think we'll just go with 51.
Okay.
And their handling time is around 30 calls a day.
All right. Average calls per day is 30. So guys, if you see this, this is all free floating window. So you can, I think we already shared the access to this calculator. Feel free to play with it for what is your today's requirement, what is your long-term requirement to get that cost estimates. Yeah, just right.
6 minutes here.
Okay.
Get it down. Perfect. And yeah, you can stick with 22 days. Oh, it's 20. Just move it down one if you can. Perfect. She said that the calls are compliance sensitive across multiple states with post-storm spikes. Okay. They need flexible pricing and solid forecasting for legal and ops. So take it away.
So the like if you've seen like the calculator itself is putting together a lot of data that you're looking and that you can look for today's requirements versus your forecasting. So what I mean by that is like let's if you're assuming that you have the first set of users that you're starting with 50 agents. So you have the transcription cost that is associated with that from each of these providers. Like again, but from your forecasting perspective, you can always use the calculator to forecast it to 500 agents and see what would be the cost estimate like as you move forward. So the tool is here. It's freely available on our, like it's available for you from our website, and you can use it to gather informations that are required for today, as well as you can use the tool to forecast your future agent expansions and then get to a cost estimates on what does that look like. What was other pointers? Did I miss anything?
Just that they are very compliance sensitive. They didn't specifically say which one they were looking at, but they said that they needed flexible pricing. So I didn't know if you could go into detail about the different platforms that we offer about like flexible pricing or even compliance factors.
Okay. So, like I mentioned, compliance again is specific to the real-time transcription, and the tools that with the use of real-time transcription, you're able to enhance that compliance based on audit capabilities, or if you have data storage limitations, and if you have specific regions that you need to have, you have PIA data. So all of these things can be aligned to your business requirements, and then we can put together a design plan on how we are going to move forward to align the solution with your compliance requirements. And from price flexibility, like I mentioned, the calculator is helping you to provide you with the cost estimates on what does an idea overview of what does the pricings look like based on the number of agents and calls per day and transcription services. Now, this will give you an overview idea of what does that look like. But like I mentioned, the final costs are provided by individual provider. So we use transcription service providers to provide you with transcription service, and um, the final cost and flexibility on pricing would come from that specific providers.
Thanks, Vamshi. Um, Quick question though. So I know latency is a huge factor with real-time transcription. And when it drives, agent assist and automation. How does that impact teams running on-prem or even hybrid?
Zero impact, right? Because uh, the the way we have solution, our tool sets are here to support customers that are using a pure SaaS solution, which is cloud only. But um, oh, when I say zero impact, I meant in not in the negative sense. Like it's not going to stop you from enabling real-time transcription. Just to be sure, I did not mean that it's not zero impact from no, it does not add any value. So with DaVinci tool sets, you're able to use the transcription that is can be enhanced for or capabilities can be enabled for SaaS solutions. Like if you want to use SAP C4C with 5.9 and you want to enable real-time transcription with Microsoft Copilot and use AI capabilities of Copilot to provide recommendations to your agents, DaVinci toolsets are here to support you. And if you come to a hybrid solution where you have SCV, Salesforce Service Cloud Voice, and you want to use Avaya and provide your agents with real-time transcription, uh, DaVinci toolsets can be a solution to design to cater that specific requirement. So there is a lot of value add with enabling real-time transcription using DaVinci toolsets in either of the platforms, like a pure SaaS solution or a pure like a hybrid solution. That's not what we are stopping to. If you have a pure premise solution, also like if you have a Siebel, which is pure premise based at any point of time, and if you have a wire, you can still enable real-time transcription to these platforms. There is a wide variety of solutions that we are providing to different customers to take benefit of their investment in AI and automation. So if you have questions on any specific platform that you're using today, please feel free to contact us.
Yeah, and Vamshi, thank you so much for walking us through this. Those of you that have attended or catching this in the replay, you get a chance to actually take advantage of Vamshi again, or in a one-on-one session. You can do a costing session like this, or just a regular AI assessment. So that's really exciting. You just let us know with this, and we'll get you started and connected with Vamshi. Vamshi, do you have anything else to add about real-time transcription or anything else?
Yes, like we have talked about a lot of real-time transcription and how the real-time transcription is more than a feature, right? It is adding a lot of capabilities that we have covered in these conversations. Using real-time transcription, you're able to set a foundation for real-time agent assist, automation, and compliance. But that's why I think that's why we have built the DaVinci toolkit. So the toolkit is not just an adapter passing information between two systems. It is an integration and orchestration layer for everything, be it your CRM, be it your voice, transcription engines, and AI tools. So if you're using Salesforce, Service Cloud Voice, Microsoft Teams, Five9, Twilio, or any other stack, DaVinci uh, brings all these tools together. So you get the flexibility, reusability, and time to deploy quickly with using DaVinci tools. And we support you in not just with the tools, but as your system integrator and with 30 years of experience in orchestrating these events between different systems, we will be the quickest for you to provide you a way forward with your existing investment. So you don't have to rip and replace your existing investment in any of the applications. So I'm really looking forward for the costing or assessment offer that you have for the team that has attended this session. And please feel free to contact us, book this session, and I'm happy to drive you through your specific use cases, your specific setup, and help you understand what is the quickest way we can deploy DaVinci using DaVinci toolsets so that you are able to enable your agents with real-time assist, automation, and other compliance requirements. Thank you, everyone.